Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com. And tonight we are going to be looking at Incantesi number 2 over on Kickstarter. It is not fully funded, but man, is it close to goal. It would sure be nice to watch that thing go over. And with us, we got Rich Perotta all the way from the UK. Rich, how you doing today?
Cheerio, cheerio, chap. It's whittling and yummy.
And pip, pip. And all that.
And all that. Yeah, we're at right now in British pounds. Let me just open that damn thing. Just pardon me. Actually, what the hell am I doing? Okay, 1 second. What is that?
I ask myself that question every morning. What the hell am I doing?
Yeah, I know. I mean, what am I doing? I'm really screwing this up here. All right, give me a sec. Okay, let me just open this up a little bit. I am now presently at, I think, 1,931, if I remember correctly. I had a nice jump today. It was pretty nice.
Oh, here we go. I can just hover over the dollar sign and it tells me what it's converted.
Oh, I got another one. It's now 1952. That's awesome.
You're at 1952. So in American dollars, you are only $560 away from hitting goal. Or $660 away from hitting goal.
Yeah, so, this is 548 right here. I have a feeling I'll hit it. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, you're very, very close. You've got
you
got over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks to go. This is this would be easy.
I'm hoping so. I want to crack the 3,000 quid plateau, and if I get to 3,500, that'll be fantastic. I have like 5 or 6 stretch goals that I have in my head right now. I'm just trying to figure out which one's going to be the most feasible, depending on the time to go on and everything. But I'm just focused right now on just getting this thing past, 2,500, and then I'll be great.
Yeah, hit the first goal and then set new ones.
Yes.
It was funny. I saw something. It was either today or yesterday. I don't know. Time just kind of blends together at a certain age.
Okay.
But it was something about a magic spell, and it was written in Italian. And I saw Incantesi magic, and I'm like, wait a second, I know that word. So now I know that this is not just some pretty-looking Italian-sounding word. It means incantation or spell.
It does, and well, it's a diminutive of the word incantesimi.
Yes.
Magic spell. Incantesimi. It's a shortened version of it, and I didn't want to have too many syllables in this thing because Italians and their names, they tend to have way too many damn syllables in there anyway. I mean, if anything, I'm deficient because I only have 3 syllables in my last name. I used to know a family, get this, in Staten Island, of course, where, one is meant to be Italian in Staten Island, Caltaluccio.
That's a lot.
Caltalucci. That's like 5 friggin' syllables. It's
but you got the R. So we can roll the R. You're Rich Perotta.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. No. But I'm pleased. I'm okay. I'm a little bit pensive. I guess I'm spoiled from the first one. Well, I should shut up because in the first campaign, I reached 1,100 quid in 6 days. For this campaign, I reached 1,100 quid in 24 hours.
Yeah. So everybody came back for the second dose. You're just waiting for it's Kickstarter. A lot of people wait for that last 2 days because the money's got to come out of the account and they don't want to forget about it after a month and then be surprised by it. So
that's
it's
true. And no,
it's
you're
a different
absolutely
animal.
right. Well, this one, I put up a lot more original art. I put up about 7 pages of original art, and 4 of them went in one day.
Oh, wow. So,
yeah, 4 of them went in one day. I was very pleased, and I think that's the reason why I've been drawing so many damn pages for issue 3. Because I'm like, yeah, well, why not? Everyone's gonna buy that.
Yeah.
I might as well do that. So it's like I've been drawing a hell of a lot more instead of doing the digital drawing. I mean, I still do the digital drawing because, there's some pages where it's just like I'm just doing conversational stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I'm establishing this, I'm establishing that. If I really want to do something really insane, I usually do them on the traditional side.
yeah, that's the thing about digital comics and working in digital comics is, the artist doesn't have anything original to sell, and the buyer doesn't have a secondary market to sell it to when they're done.
That's true. It's very true. And I like traditional anyway. I feel a little bit more of a connection, but the digital has its place because, I mean, for me, I use digital for the thumbnails, because my big thing with my thumbnails is I like messing around with the size of the thumbnails. Like I put them in different sections.
Sure.
And I put them on different layers so then I can try and feel like the vibe of the page. And they're just roughs, and it's like blue lined. So once I get something pretty solid, I'll take the graphic with the blue line on it, and I'll just print it on my printer, and then I lightbox the blue line from underneath on top of the page, and then here we go. We're gonna go penciling.
I was gonna say I've heard of other people doing the same thing where they'll start digitally and then print it out and go pen and ink or pencil and ink after that point.
I do that. I've done it. I used to just blue line right on the board, and I've of course I've done it before, but it's just like there are times when it's like I'm like, after I finish a page, I'm like, I could have done that better if I took a little bit longer of a longer look, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to do it that way. And it's like, but I still do the drawing the traditional way. Like if I want to get reference or something like that of, say, a building, I'm going to look at the facade of the building, and I'm going to use my mind's eye to look at the perspective on what I have, and then alter the drawing as prescribed. It's not like I'm going to take it and then put it into the damn thing and then adjust it in Photoshop. It's like, look, I got a building. Fuck.
Oh yeah, just take a picture of it.
Oh God, no, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't care if I spend extra time on the page. I want it to be authentic, at least for me. So
yeah, I hear you. We're getting the chat filled up here. Heroinberg is out here being our best wrench, putting links out to the Kickstarter and to your Twitter. Thank you for that.
Hey, thank you
Always
so
appreciate
much.
It.
I know these guys. Yeah, I know this guy too.
I was gonna say I know him.
I know him.
Pops Van Zant.
I
Will
love
is
Pops.
out here.
Pops is amazing. He is a great human being. I love this guy.
Running a 3-day convention every month, 12 hours.
Yeah, I know. He's a sociopath. This guy. How the hell does he do it?
I have no idea. Then of course Herenberg says our favorite Italian last name belongs to a friend of ours, Chico Chopo.
Oh my God! Really?
If you say that's a real name,
that's not a real name.
That sounds like a 12-year-old kid brother manga sidekick character, like Spritle or something.
That is too much. Yeah, a lot of all Italians have those big, crazy, insane names.
But they got gelato, so
they got pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza's better than gelato. Well, it depends.
If you can get a good margarita somewhere, then
Well, when I go to Naples this year, I'm gonna have a margarita when I go to Naples. Oh my God, I'm gonna die when I have one. I'll be like, I can't eat pizza ever again outside of Italy.
Everybody who's not Italian's watching is like, margaritas are Spanish. Why are they?
No, they're not. Oh my! Bite your tongue, man.
Well, they're confusing the drink with the pizza, and folks, a margarita is it's red sauce with basil leaves and mozzarella cheese. And
Yeah, the
that's
basil's put on top of the basil's put on top of the mozzarella after it comes out of the oven.
yeah, and it's red, white, and green for the colors of the Italian flag.
Oh, it's so freaking good. You haven't lived until you had one of those. Oh, I sent you earlier today, twice actually, and I forgot that I sent it to you. Is it possible that you can call up that PDF
I
that I
absolutely
sent you?
can.
Yes, because I want to show everybody what I do fully. Now, I am whoever's here, I am the writer of the Incantesi as well as the artist. The person who helped me create Incantesi is, of course, from Italy. Is a lovely Italian actress who is as sweet as anything. Her name is Sofia Broccani, and she's a very good friend of mine. And she is the inspiration behind the Incantesi. The main character that you see, that's her likeness. Yeah, and she's really cute. So there's that. But
There we go. I'm trying to get it to fit on the page just for the ease of scrolling.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Because
Okay.
I'm
And
blind.
what we have here, this is going to be a special cover. I'm going to officially launch that cover there. So we need to. That's going to be a cover for another campaign, which I will. It's going to be for the.
Which one are we talking about, left or right?
The left one is the alternate cover for the Indiegogo campaign.
Okay. Now this cover here, by the way, does not have Cassandra on it as one of your characters. This is the.
It does. Cassandra's in the middle.
Cassandra. Okay. You know what? I was thinking that this was the three, the three who are one, I guess.
No, not the three girls. Well, the inspiration behind this one was the album Innuendo from Queen, because all their eyes are all mixed together, and I was like, wow, that would make a really good concept cover. So I just decided to plagiarize Freddie Mercury, after he's long gone and departed from this world. So.
Oh well, yeah, because he's not going to sue now.
Well, I'm a hard-looking being for doing that. I'm sorry?
Nicholas Gear's in the chat, and he's talking about his book. I want to see Relentless Tin Soldier. Call me later. We'll get you scheduled up on that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, one of the things I do know is, first on the covers and, of course, throughout the book, color scheme. Now, speaking as an artist, colors all mean things. To the readers, we're like, oh, that's a pretty red, or that's a nice shade of blue.
Yeah.
But when you're creating, you're actually you have color science going on, and the psychology it evokes and the myth that is attached to, and whether the reader knows it or not, they're getting these things pulled out of them. Yeah. There's a lot of purple, a lot of lilac and violet in here. What was the impetus towards that color scheme that you picked?
The impetus towards that color scheme was purple has the air of royalty, or some sort of like, it's supposed to invoke royalty, and if you decide to go on the thesaurus level of that, it's also supposed to invoke power over others. And this is the outfit this is the color of the uniform that she chose. You see, in the issue 2, there's a small scene where she's just learning as fast as she could about how to create spells, and then she finds the very fabric that's used to create the ceremonial robes or other type of guard that the Incantesi usually use, and this is just her variation of it, and she happens to use purple.
And we see her in the last panel of this.
We do. So let's scroll through these. I'll show you what a lot of these are. Now over here.
Tell me if I'm giving away too much, man.
No. Well, what's going on here is going to be 2 things that I have. It's the prologue and the epilogue. Now the prologue and the epilogue are going to have, and these are going to be for issues 2, 3, and 4. They're going to tell the story of the final Incantesi, the final 5 Incantesi of the Incantesi clan, and how they put away the wrath in an extra dimensional prison. And we're going to see the events as to how all that happens, because towards the end of it, when they finally succeed, because it's already history, all that ties in to the end of chapter 4. So because I plan on going much farther than chapter 4, at least to chapter 8, if not chapter 12.
Good.
At least. Yeah, I plan on taking this for the long run. I'm getting so much more at ease with drawing the character. I've already fallen into my style. So yeah, here we have some more colors over here. I don't know if I'm sure some of you might notice. What I do whenever I color anything, I usually put the flats in, and then I usually employ the shading. I don't do any of the highlight at that moment, because what I do is because it's me, and it's because I don't want the colors to compete with the line art too much, unless I have to like have the special effects in. I want to make sure that I just have like the basic colors in there, plus the shading. I use the burn and the dodge tools in Photoshop. And there's a couple of things I also use for special effects here and there. And that's why you have such tones like that. And then I lower the saturation of all the colors by half. And what it does is it gives it a little bit more of a little bit more focused, yet a little bit more of an earthy, not so bright color.
Yeah,
but you
they're
can
not,
see the brightness there.
but most of it's not the primary colors of a superhero jumping out at you.
No,
At full 255, 255, 255 at every level.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's way too much. I mean, I'm not saying that any coloring is actually bad. What I'm saying is that you don't want the colors to compete with the black and white line art, and I don't want that. I mean, if I hire a colorist, I'm gonna tell him specifically, look, after you finish doing all your yummy yummies and all this other stuff, you're gonna lower the saturation on that thing by half, because that's what the look of the book requires, and because that's how I've established it. So that's really just basically it.
I love this doctor character too, by the way, because he's just going with it.
Oh, he is. Well, it turns out later in the book, he reveals something about himself that doesn't really have anything to do with any type of magic. But this doctor here, mild-mannered Clark Kent type of guy, he is something of a badass. Really, truly something. I didn't want to have like I already have the strong female characters in here. I didn't want to have a milquetoast pussy guy running around chasing them around like, what do I do? No, he takes action.
And isn't that always the case? It seems like.
Yeah, it is. It is. I wanted to throw that. It is, and I hate that. And I wanted to throw that expectation, because it's like in the first issue, if anybody has it, the police officer who starts all the trouble in the first issue,
Officer Tucci.
The Officer Tucci. Yeah, the doctor doesn't waste any time. He's like, no, you're not taking her. And he's like, yeah, we are. And he just like cold clocks him. It's like, punch. You're not taking this child. I'll kill you if you do. So and the girl and the woman over here, she's like, well, nice punch. I'm gonna do things to you later. So it's like out of nowhere, this guy is just like, well, that's what I love about him too, because he doesn't know this girl, he doesn't know Cassandra, but he's the type of guy that is willing to lay his life down for his patients if he has no other choice. So it's like, yeah, that's just who I am. Black and white. It's none of this nuanced stuff that
but
so many heroes.
When they do Ghostbusters 2016, they had the Milk Toast Thor of all people.
Oh God, I'm
like,
that no
character, famous, and he's like not exactly the most assertive male in the story.
Yeah, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. It's one thing with a guy being mild mannered and not super aggressive. It's another thing when he just turns into like he just turns into Jello. I mean, come on, enough. I mean, men are not the idiots that everybody wishes that they were. I'm sorry, but I don't hold off any slack either, because this is Cassandra's aunt and guardian, Amelia, and she's pretty damn powerful on her own. She has a considerable amount of ability, but she's also been like this for well over 30 years. So she knows what she's doing. And I like the dynamics between her and the doctor, because the doctor, he doesn't have any of these abilities, but doesn't take any shit.
Yeah, but he's not really thrown by them either. It's like,
he's not impressed. He's like, okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, right, that's right. Stop looking at my ass, girl. It's just like, and they both have it. I mean, of course, Amelia loves Cassandra, but that's her niece. But and but he has a general caring for, all of humanity. He doesn't want her hurt, so he's going to do what he needs to do, and he stands by them. He doesn't run away.
And
you know.
Cassandra's been, I before the first campaign, my impression was that Cassandra's going to have all this thrust on her, and she does. She does have all this power thrust on her, but she wasn't without power when it started. It seems pretty clear that she's aware of, hey, here's an ability I have that's being passed down.
She was very aware of it, but she didn't think it was going to be anything. She didn't tell anybody. That's one thing.
Yeah,
and that's something that I need to touch up on in the writing, because Amelia is that's something that I touched up on that too, because in the first chapter, Amelia was not able to read or register those three girls,
right,
because they had that type of ability. Obviously, she's like, that's suspicious. There's something going on there, but being that she's taking care of her niece and all that stuff, she doesn't suspect that her niece Cassandra had that power, and it turns out she kind of does. But she has that power in spades, and that's what I love about Cassandra. It's not that she has all this power, is that, yeah, she's been toying around with it, and she never really explored it past it, but now her power has been truly awakened, and it's like, what the fuck am I going to do with all of this? Pardon my language.
She's gone from Sabrina the Teenage Witch to Dark Phoenix.
Not just yet. That's more of a gradual thing, and her heart. And I will say this: she's not Jean Grey. She's not. She's not Jean Grey. She's not Steve Rogers. And I've mentioned before, I wouldn't expect any type of heroic ending when it comes to her, which is the reason why I'm going to expand this to 8 at least chapters, if not 12, because there's more to Cassandra than just meets the eye. I don't want her to be this one-dimensional thing where it's like, okay, I'm good now. It's like, now I'm noble. I mean, no, that's not the nature of humanity. I'm sorry?
I've beaten my Voldemort. Story's over. We're done.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, humanity at its core can be corrupted if they're gifted with this absolute power, one way or the other. And it's just a matter of how you handle it. I mean, again, it was even covered in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's like, yeah, you can give the super soldier to anybody, but the only one who was able to truly handle it the way he did was Steve Rogers. But he's like a once in a generation or once in a millennia person that is so good and pure that he can handle that. Cassandra's not that person. She's a good human being, but she's not that. She's not that hero. She's a kid who 2 days ago, according to this, was performing at La Scala Theater in the middle of Milan, and then a couple of days later, she figures out that she can transform matter at the molecular level if she chooses to. So it's just like, that's one hell of a mind screw. Yeah. I mean, it drives you nuts, especially with the stuff that she finds out about her aunt and how she became this Incantesi, how Cassandra became the way that she is.
Well, yeah, and I think that Amelia is not as pure-hearted as we might be initially thinking too, because
no, she's not.
Because I don't want to give anything of the story away, but there's
no. It's okay. I mean, this is a story. This is a part of the story that I'm gonna just throw in later. I think, provided she even survives. Amelia was a classic world-renowned ballet dancer since she was like about 13. And she toured all over the planet, maybe 15, 20 times over. Very, very open, free, pansexual lifestyle. Very carefree, has had riches beyond the dreams of avarice. She's the female version of Baryshnikov without going to the movies. And, she's a hoe. And she also got lots of money, but it's like, it takes, she doesn't realize it, but as she's raising this child, that's mostly not hers, of course. when the stark terror of this child being crushed underneath that chandelier, that's going to change you. She's like, I can't do this. No, there's no fucking way. I can't allow this person to die. She's changed her mind about what she was supposed to do,
Right.
but she has not come clean with what she was going to do.
Which was very in opposition to what the Incantesi have vowed to continue doing year after year after year after year after year after year.
Yeah, Amelia was yet again, she was going to be one of the Incantesi who was going to make sure that the prison was fortified against the Wrath, but the Wrath got to her.
Yeah.
But there's an instance, there's a flashback in issue 4 that's coming up that's going to reveal as to why she no longer was able to do it. And it involves Cassandra's parents. Ooh.
So stay tuned and keep getting the issues.
Stay tuned and keep that dial on that channel.
Now,
this was fun.
I've left this page up for a reason here, because we talked about color theory and color schemes, and all the way up till here, we were still being overridden by the purple. I don't want to say overridden, but it was the primary driving color scheme.
It is.
And this is the first time I think you get this green just suddenly suffuses everything from out of nowhere with the appearance of these two characters. So I'm going to ask why? What? And if it's just a matter of I really thought green looked good on them, fine. But
that's exactly what it is. It's a matter of green looked good on them. That's really it. I mean, it doesn't have any type of symbolism like a Star Trek uniform. It's like, I'm going to wear green.
Okay, that's sometimes
that's really it. I'm going to wear green. There's a couple. There's one that wears cyan. There's another one that wears dark blood red or something along those lines. There's going to be a couple that just have your basic gray with the yellow gold sash, depending on how they decide to design whatever it is. It's the sash with the pattern on it that usually is the giveaway that you're a member of the Incantesi clan. So that's really it. It can be made into any way. As long as you have that with you, then it's known that you are a member of the Incantesi.
So it doesn't matter what color you're wearing it over.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
So that looked like it was some sort of a flashback there that she was seeing past Incantesi. Again,
that was a flashback. That's a flashback. Amelia is trying to explain what the Incantesi were before all of this happened. Because, I mean, it's one thing that Cassandra decides to do her little power thingy or something like that. It's another thing entirely that she actually knows the history. She's a kid. She's not she's not really into the whole magic thing. She's just being a kid, up until the time she's in her early 20s. Still a kid, so it's like, I'm not a sorcerer. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I just would love it, when a book just shows up on my lap, or if I want to get an ice cream, boom, there you go.
Now, is this going to be available in digital form, or is it just strictly?
Yes, absolutely digital. And what I'm going to do with the rewards is I didn't fix it entirely in time before I launched the campaign, but anybody who decides to back this campaign, if all you want is the digital copy, there's a nice deal where you can catch up with the story and you can get issues 1 and 2 in digital format for £4 British.
So there you go, George Peter Gatt says he does have book 1 and 2 as a digital combo.
No, but I do. All right. Yeah. So if you decide to back it, what I'll do is, if you decide to back it, I will absolutely send you the digital copy of chapter 1 immediately. That is the truth. If I see, because I get updates on the Kickstarter all the time. If I see if I see like a £4 increase or whatever it is, and whoever decides to put it there and just wants a digital copy, I will send the digital copy of issue 1 first, and then when the campaign is finished, you'll get digital copy number 2.
There you go, George.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't put that down there. I posted it on my Facebook and the Kickstarter updates, and I'm just going to keep posting it every other day to make sure that people understand that I've made some adjustments to the rewards also. I lowered the prices on a couple of them, and I've made a couple of other things available.
Now, here we got the you got these three characters running around, these three witches, and they're
Well, one of them is dead now. So.
oh well. There's no. She wasn't dead at the end of issue 1.
No, she was not, but now she is. She's gone now.
And well, their motives are very mysterious because it's like sometimes they help her and sometimes they are trying to kill her. So I'm like, I've not figured them out yet. But
well, the leader, the blonde, she doesn't want Cassandra dead. The Wrath have to take over her body. The Wrath have to take over her body, and because if Cassandra died before the Wrath had a chance to go through her to enter our dimension, they wouldn't last very long because they don't have any corporeal forms to sustain, whatever's left of them. Because when they were put into that alternate dimension, they were pulled out of their bodies. They essentially died, and they threw them into that prison because their souls continuously lasted. What they're trying to do is they're trying to find a human host that's alive to make sure that they can use that host that's powerful enough, and Cassandra happens to have the ability to hold on to them, to spread out once again and inhabit those who have the ability to contain the power of the Incantesi, which means the 195 odd Wrath that were thrown into that extra dimensional prison all those years ago will be out in public now.
that's a lot of Phantom Zone villains to round up.
That's a lot of Phantom Zone villains to sit around for centuries ruminating and boiling with hatred all that time, and to only imagine what the hell they're going to do. I think this just went up. I think it just went up. Yeah, it did.
Did it go up? Do we have a shake and bake moment?
I think we have a shake and bake moment. Let me just get the backer report. Give me a second. Who backed this? George Peter. Was that George Peter Gapsis?
Gatsis, yes.
Gatsis. Okay. I don't have an email for this guy. I don't have an email. No, wait. I could send a message. Wait, that's not it. All right, George, if you're still there, give me a sec, buddy. All right. Give me a sec. I'm gonna make sure that I follow through with my, with my promise. So give me one moment. All right.
Meantime, I'm going to play the
please play the trailer.
Video.
It's shaking me, and I help.
That's our shake. Every time we get a backer on anything, we help. It's shake and bake. But yes, I am now going to play the trailer.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, here's the trailer for this for Incantesi number 2, folks.
They
Now that's some exciting music, and I sure hope it's public domain.
It is public domain, definitely. Well, I just sent a message to George Peter Gatsis with the link to the Dropbox to Incantesi Chapter 1. If you want to check out your message, George, if you're still there, let me know that you got it. If not, please put into the chat your email and I'll send it to you directly. But I really do think you have it right now. So if you want to check your messages in the Kickstarter thingy, by all means, please. So I know that you got it.
Yeah, I have his email address if he doesn't provide it, so I can get you that. I'm looking. This,
Okay.
I haven't scrolled this scene up here yet because this is gonna be the last preview page we got.
There's one more, yes.
Yeah.
There's one more.
So this is where you got the two girls. They're coming in. They're kicking ass. They're causing major damage. And here's Cassandra upstairs. She can hear all this, and you see her like doing the magic thing. Let's put it together. George got it. Good to hear.
Excellent.
And that's
George.
when you have.
I'm happy.
And they've got their oh shit moment here. You can see it in her eyes because here's Cassandra fully in her power.
Yes. In Cassandra in her full regalia. There's a page in between of this where I had to put it in because this ended on the book ended on like an even page, and I'm like, I can't do that. It has to be on an odd one. So I added another page. There's a page in the middle of this one, and I can't wait to color that one because that one's a nice perspective over the shoulder shot. And then you have Cassandra here in her full Incantesi regalia, and man, does she look good. I'm like, whoa, that's the best splash page I've drawn in my life.
And that because it is a splash page, is that going to be offered as a print?
It already it can be offered as a print, but the art's already sold. The art was sold like maybe a half hour after the Kickstarter went up.
I bet it was.
It was gobbled up in like a minute, not even, and it was just it was like boom, that's gone. It was that, and then the first cover for issue 2. The first one when you have Cassandra, and then you have the energy signatures. Then page 37, which I think I showed you already. Page 37, and then part of the epilogue, page 3 of the epilogue, and then page 16 of chapter 2, also when the girls are fighting. So it's like I sold a lot of original art like immediately. And that's great. So, because I have a lot of original art for issue 3, and it's going to be pretty cool.
just remember to print them before you sell the original art. It's something. Well, yeah. Comic and then...
I probably got. You know what? This is a good idea. I think I'm probably going to have this as a print. Like the Cassandra as like an A3 or an A4 print or something. I think I'll do that. It's just too
gorgeous not to do that with.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do just that. Yeah, so I'll probably make that. I'll probably make that into an A4 print that I'm going to add in as an extra. Once we hit the goal of 2,500, I'll put that in as a. I'll probably put this in as like a stretch goal or something along those lines. But yeah. And I'll probably print up a bunch of like A3s because hopefully, if this release of Lockdown doesn't kill everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if this was going to comic stores, this would have been what they'd used for the in-store promo posters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have just put that there easily without any type of issue. And I probably would have changed the background color just a little bit, but yeah, what you saw is the colors of issue 2 so far. And
we just went up again.
Again? Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I think.
No, that's probably from what George when George decided to roll back.
Okay. I just saw
it
roll
fine
up.
with me. It's like I'm happy that it went up.
I thought it was fresh, but it was probably just catching up then.
Yeah, it was catching up. I'm at 1956, which is great.
That's
it. George, thank you. I hope you like it enough that you're like, damn, I need to get the actual physical copies of this thing. Yeah, and speaking of the physical copies, there's the first issue I had 47 pages of content. This issue I have 56.
Bigger book.
Yes, I have. It's a bigger book. The price went up a little bit to accommodate that for the printing, which you and I have to talk about now because it's like now that's gone up a little bit. So
a little bit. Well, yeah, and plus the post office just announced that
it's going to change the price a bit, and I'm like, God, but it is what it is. I don't care.
The post office just announced that they're raising their rates on media mail in August, at the end of August. I'm like, You just raised it in January.
Yeah. It's still going to be cheaper than me having to send it and me having
Yes.
to print it in the United States. So I don't care.
Yes,
I
it
do not
is.
care. So it doesn't bother me at all because I have so far I have about maybe half of the people that have backed this project are in the United States, but I have a whole bunch, at least 15, if not more, new backers for chapter 2 because I have what do I have? I have 8 people so far who took the option of getting chapter 1 and chapter 2. And that's down here a little bit lower, by the way. The a copy of the hard copy is 18 quid, which is about 25, but it has 60 pages in it. It has 60 pages of content in it easily.
What am I looking at here? This is because I'm
That's the
seeing paperback copy.
All right.
But this is not issue. This is a paperback copy of issue 1?
No, it should be a paperback copy of issue 2.
Okay, because I see that you're only going to have 100 of them. So are you going to limit the print run?
Well, if I get more, then I'll just print more. But I mean, if I get 100 orders for the paperback for issue 2, then yeah, I'll definitely print more. But I don't think it's going to happen like that. I'm only saying 100 because it's like here, it's not going to run anytime soon. So here, there you go. But the hardcover is going to be the same thing. I have 2 other rewards there though, that have there's 2 rewards. You see, I have chapters 1 and 2 in paperback, and that's a lower price aggregately because the first one's like 13 quid. If I doubled it, it would be 26. So we have that one over there.
Yeah.
30. I have 35 over there. It's a little bit cheaper. I probably could have made it like 33, but sorry about that. That's the hardcover for chapters 1 and 2.
Now you're talking literal hardcover,
50,
50-ish page book. I mean, you're like, knock.
I'll even show you I'll even show you. Give me a sec. Give me 1 second here. 1 second.
Because hardcover versions of these would be really cool. I mean, it's kind of a thin hardcover.
Okay. Yeah. Let me show my lovely audience here. This.
Yeah. There you go.
Is the hardcover. This is a ridiculously beautifully bound book. This is just the best thing that I've put my hands on or could have ever possibly asked to print. You see, we have the art here. All the interior pages are nice 130 grams per meter.
Gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely insane. I mean, I also have this quality paper over here. This quality paper is also available in the paperback, and the paperback is standard United States comic size. So, and they're fantastic quality. They're absolute great quality. I'm lucky that I found these guys because they're so good and they're so reliable. And they even call you if there's an issue with the formatting of the print, and it's just so really, really incredible. You're getting anything you're investing in. You are absolutely getting what you pay for, truth to power. And I don't skimp. I never skimp on anything like that, not even remotely. That's just not who I am. And
you got the you got a retailer tier here for issue 1. I'm guessing you have one for issue 2. Yes, you do.
Yeah, and keep growing because someone actually decided to go for the 10 copy tiers. That was just crazy.
Aha. So I see 5 hardcovers to 2, and then you got the 10 copy.
Yes.
I'm skipping the commission. You're going to do an A4 commission.
That's people. An A4. Well, yeah, I lowered that price for that specifically. I had it at like 80 quid, and I'm like, man, that's not what I had it for before. So I lowered the price of it because an A4 commission is very easy to ship. Because I could just put it into the A4 copy of the hardcover. So it's like, yeah, I can easily do that. That's not an issue at all.
The problem I had, stay stiff.
Yes, that's right. And the issue that I had for the last campaign with the A3 commission was that I put the books in with the A3 commission, and one of the A3 commissions got ruined and it's lost.
That sucks.
Yes, it does. So I have to draw it again at some point, and that's gonna be fucking horrifying. Pardon my language. But yeah, I have these tiers over here for the A4 commission and hardcover, A4 commission and the soft cover, and I even have a couple. I even have a video of one of the commissions that I did of Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels of all things.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah, I know, right? And that was picked up by a friend of mine who lives near me. So it's like, but you get to see what quality, yeah, that one right there. So if you go to the Kickstarter and you decide to click on that's from my YouTube channel called The Richness, because I'm a conceited fuck, and that's an hour and 45 minutes of me drawing that commission in pencil, in real time, and having people talk to me and comment back and forth. I have a great time on my YouTube channel. I think I probably have about 40, 45 videos. I've lost count at this point.
Well, I'm going to have to go check this one out now because I just want to see what Captain Caveman looks like in your style.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. I love it.
I was very disappointed with what they did with him in the Scoob movie.
Oh, no. What they do to him?
Well, they didn't make him a hero. He was just,
really?
He was a jerk. Yeah, he was going to kill. He was the bad guy. He was not the bad guy, but he was a bad guy.
God, who wrote it? Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
I don't know. It was that whole 3D animated deal where it was like, Scoob was a pup. Yeah, and then they were like, I was excited when I saw the trailers. I'm like, oh, they're bringing all the Hanna-Barbera characters into a cohesive universe. This would be
cool, but why'd they make him a villain?
Yeah, well, and it was a minor walk-on kind of part. They landed in an area of cavemen. He's the leader of the cavemen, and he puts them in a pit to do, combat because, he's just, being a Caesar kind of person. I was like, Blue Falcon is in here. Oh, but no, this is Blue Falcon Jr. and he's something of a putz. And Dynamite's got to carry his butt.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, I'm telling you, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is writing this damn thing. She oh my God, I can't stand her as a writer. Jesus Christ, she's horrifying.
Oh.
Every man is the most simpest. Every single male that she encounters is like the most useless, unnecessary cog, unless it has something to do with serving her sexually or something else. I really shouldn't have any opinion on her because I'm not a fan, and
you know what?
Sorry.
Incantesi is proof that you can have a strong female character and not have to completely emasculate the male characters to build them up. They're strong on their own.
She is a strong you can classify her as a strong female character, but she's the type of character that has the flaws that everybody does.
Yeah.
That there's nothing that she's not unbeatable.
Not a Mary Sue.
Oh, God forbid. No, I would never do that because that's just not realistic. And it's like, you see, there are both male and females are there. Some of them are just genuinely stupid, and either or cowardly, or cunning or sneaky, and whatever positive or negative traits they have. I mean, the doctor, he's trying to make sure that she's alive. But that's the page that's in between the other ones, by the way.
Okay.
That's also another page of art that I have to offer. So that's a good one.
That's gorgeous. I get the whole timing of it now. The whole it slows down the pacing to build up the tension for the reveal.
Yeah,
when you turn that last page, like there she is.
Exactly, there she is, and it's like I don't want my characters or the people in my story to have such flaws that they're comedy relief. I'm not really into the whole comedy relief thing because there's levity and there's humor in here every so often, but this is kind of a little more serious. It's like you're dealing with supernatural powers. I mean, she is Cassandra. She's trying to run in guns blazing glory and stuff, but she's messing with supernatural forces that she has truly yet to understand. She's still a child when it comes to that. So it's like, all right, you can get all nasty and all that stuff, but if you fart the wrong way, you're going to open up a rift in the space-time continuum, and
Yeah.
we're kind of fucked at that point. I mean, forget the Higgs boson particle. We don't have to worry about the Higgs boson particle colliding at just past the speed of light. We don't need that. We just have ripping the fabric of reality open so we can all die.
You have to be very, very careful now. What was it? They were.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So apparently the writers on Supergirl, and not only the TV show, I mean the comic book.
Okay.
They're trying to do a Larry Niven of sorts with her, with her being a teenage girl again. Have you ever read the little short piece by Larry Niven called "Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex"?
No.
You should. It's like 7 pages, and it's beautiful and hilarious, and it's just like a real scientific look at Clark Kent operating in a real world as a Kryptonian. It's just a dissertation, but he treats it straight, and it's hilarious.
I'm sure it is.
But they've got Supergirl popping a pimple in the bathroom, and apparently because she's Kryptonian, you would think, okay, it's gonna shatter the mirror. But no, it like fills the bathroom with gunk that takes her 2 hours to clean up. It's real gross and everything. And I'm like, why? That doesn't even make sense for a Kryptonian, because the mask wasn't there. Yeah, shatter the mirror. They'd be like, oh, ha, that's funny. She's Kryptonian. It popped off at like the speed of a bullet. But Larry Niven was talking about things like why aren't there shotgun sized holes in the side of the Kent house in Clark Kent's bedroom when he was a teenager, because you would that would lead at the force of a shotgun.
Yeah, to say nothing of what would be left of Lois Lane's head.
Yeah, he gets into all of that. He would gut her from crotch to sternum like a trout.
Yeah. I think I read it then. Oh my God, I remember that specific thing. Is like he would give one of his throws of passion as he's thrusting, he would literally gut her like a trout. And it's like, oh my God,
exactly.
That's right. Oh God, I remember it now.
And then all the other sperm that would separate, because they're Kryptonian, indestructible. They wouldn't just die; they'd fly out and separate, and the whole there'd be millions of them, and there'd be paternity suits coming in from everywhere because all these women would be getting impregnated. Yeah,
it's like one ejaculate would be panspermia. It's just that's just oh God. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah.
And Harrenberg's being the perfect Grinch again. He's found it online where people can click and read it.
Thank you, Harrenberg. I appreciate you. Guess who's gonna fucking read that as soon as this whole thing is out? But anyway, yeah, it's like I added a couple of things. I took the A3 commissions and just made them their own reward. And I lowered the price, and I said that I'm going to, and I decided that I was going to handle the postage, just sending it over, because it's not terrifying, because I don't have to add anything else to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't have to add a book to it. I don't have to anything else. It's going to cost me about 10, 15 quid, but I'm really not going to care, because I love drawing those things anyway, and it's not like I'm not making money out of it. So when it comes to a specialty commission of that size, A3, which is tabloid size in the United States, roughly.
Right.
Like I have no issue. Yeah, you could say, you can, if you open it up, yes. Because the dimensions themselves for an A3 size is 11 3/4 by 16.5. But a tabloid size in the United States is the size that an American comic book page actually is, 11 by 17, with a 10 by 15 interior space to use the art on. But this is all, everything you see there, that's the original art. And I think there's only like 2 pages left, because a friend of mine picked up page 16 early this week, or late last week.
Yeah, and one of those pages is this double page spread here still.
Yes, I have that. That is still available. That's 175. That's rather cheap for something of that size. That is rather inexpensive for something of that size.
Yeah, this is because this is 2 pages, so
Yeah,
$243, and this is the opening to chapter 3. So you're going to have original art
it
that
is.
no one's going to even get to be seeing
Yeah,
in the story yet.
exactly. So if anybody wants this, that's yeah. I mean that's a damn good page. It's ready to go. So it's like if anybody wants it, by all means, just come get it. Really.
Everything else down here is gone, so there's no point in scrolling down to there. But
Right. Everything else is gone. It's all the original art. That page too. That page is gone.
gone. Now
Yeah.
I'm looking at an estimated delivery here of August 2021. That can't be for the books too. That's just
It depends on when I get the books. It depends on when I get the books and what happens when the campaign finishes and if I have everything set. August is an absolute possibility if I get it out there. If I get it to you immediately, it's a possibility.
that's why it says estimated delivery in Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, absolutely
It's always an
estimated.
estimate.
It's August. Yeah, if it's not August, it'll definitely be September, and you'll definitely get it. But yeah, no, whatever it is, there's only 2 people who have missed anything, and that's because of the way that COVID was hitting and all this other crap. And I managed to fulfill everybody with the except for 2 people, and that was it.
Hey, if you only missed 2, and
Not bad, not
yeah,
bad, and especially in the year of COVID of all things, So it's like, and I'm doing it myself. I do
yeah,
everything
and it's not
myself
like
here. It's rather insane.
and it's not like they've been missed. I mean, you caught them back up, so.
Yeah, well, I've made a couple of concessions with a couple of the people that in question, and I'm gonna hook them up with a couple of other things as I go along. So I'm gonna make sure that they'll be taken care of.
Very nice.
Yeah,
All
well,
right. So, yeah, because it's customer service.
no, yeah, absolutely, and they're my friends, so it's like I'm not gonna stiff them. I'm just gonna wait until I get everything printed because I will be printing extras of issue 1. And of course, I'll be printing issue 2. So it's like they'll be taken care of. Trust me, they will.
All right. Well, we have reached the top of the hour.
Yes, we have.
It's been a good show.
Yes,
I'm
thank
excited
you.
for this book, especially now that I've been able to read some of the first issue, and I know I've got a better idea because when you're interviewing a writer about their book and you haven't read it yet yourself, you got to be cagey about what's in the story and
Yes, I guess.
And I get that for the watchers, but from my perspective, it's like, boy, that's really hard pulling details of the story out that I'm dancing around because I don't know them. But now that I do know them, I was able to talk to things a little bit better and understand who was who and what was what, and it was a lot more fun for me.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy that you enjoyed the first chapter. I'm very pleased you're enjoying what I have here now. I think the art for the chapter 2 is superior than it is for the first one, and I'm doing everything at twice the speed. So yeah,
and it's a very unique style too. I mean, this isn't the way you were drawing and inking at Marvel.
No, not at all. Actually, when I started at Marvel, it was when they were still trying to do that ridiculous cross-hatching crap.
Yeah,
which made no sense. Trust me, it's like scritchy. Oh, you got to make sure your cross-hatching is great. No, I'm just like, you're an editor of what? It's just like, you have any idea what actual form of the human body is? And it's like, but kids like that, and I'm like, you know what? Really, I can't feel.
No, they don't. The kids like a good story.
Yeah, they like a good story, and that's
why manga's outselling everything.
I take pride in the fact that I have a good story, that I don't need to like throw all sorts of other like types of things out there or gimmicks or genitalia or anything, Yeah, I have that's a whole entire thing. And if you and I ever decide to rant on it, yeah, if I ever decide to rant to it to you, then yeah, you'll feel, how I feel about it.
I do, and we've been there before. And generally, we start doing that about this time of the show, and then an hour later is when we close out. So I'm not going to do that to you this time.
Yeah, no, it's not that I don't want to stay. It's also 2:00 in the morning. I'm actually a little hungry, so I'm gonna grab a little bite to eat, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. But, man, RJ, it is always a pleasure being on your show. And if you have any other slots open or anything you want me to just show up, I'd be more than happy to, because you're a great host.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I enjoy you. I enjoy being on your show. Definitely.
Well, I
You're
will
awesome.
say that we have you scheduled for Saturday the 17th to be our special guest on the LCS Guys show.
Ooh, who are the LCS guys?
The LCS Guy. This is a show that I started early on in the podcasting thing, in the early days of COVID when everybody was shutting down.
Right.
So I was reaching out to local comic shop owners, said, "Hey, can we do like a panel show to see how you guys are handling the shutdown, what you're doing to survive?" And we've got like Dave Dyer, who was selling comics out the back of his store in
Dyer,
Belleville.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, he's my local comic shop guy at Cosmic Comics.
All right.
Michael Tierney, who's an Overstreet contributor, who had two stores in Little Rock that didn't close down, but Diamond shut down, so he didn't have anything. Yeah, at the time, Little Rock had not closed. It had 2 cases of COVID in the entire state at the time, so there was no shutdown. And then Yul Carter, who had fantastic comics out in Berkeley. And then we got Brian Cook, who is with Blastbeat ATX. He does eBay sales, so we just kind of like ran the gamut there, and we just kept doing it every 2 weeks. So now we just kind of talk about the industry from the retailer perspective, the front lines. We talk about what's going on with stories, what's selling, what's not selling, bitch about Diamond a little bit, over shipments, under shipments. I got 3 books this week and they sent them in 2 separate boxes. So, it's like shake, and here's one. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But then, we also have a guest on and they get to talk about, the work that they've done, especially if they know the person. And it's just, an hour and a half, 2 hours of hanging around the comic shop, talking to the owners about what's going on in comics.
But what day is it? What day am I seeing you guys again?
Saturday, the 17th. So
Saturday the 17th.
A week and a half out from now.
For all these gentlemen, they have their own comic shops and all that stuff, correct?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Well, now see, Dave has his, Yule has his. Michael closed down. Michael closed his 2 brick and mortars. He's doing mail order only now for the customer base he had, so he can work on. He's doing these huge Edgar Rice Burroughs art chronologies, and now he's working on the Robert E. Howard art chronology. They're huge, beautiful books that
sure they are.
Publishing. So yeah, I mean, it's for the most part though, yeah, they're store owners.
Okay, because I have those retail thingies. I will talk to you about something a little bit after when we talk. But yeah,
all right, we'll take care of all that. Rich, thanks for coming on.
You.
Everybody in the chat, appreciate you being here. Please do click the link below the video that takes you to Kickstarter and get your own copies of Incantesi #2 and #1 if you haven't got it already. We encourage you to click the like and share button. Not so much the like button. If you didn't like it, don't click the like button, but click the share button, not for my numbers, but to get Rich in front of more eyeballs so that they can also see and decide if this is going to be something for them. And as always, we're so glad you came, and we just hope that you had a blast.